Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and this one is from the user Killerama89. He's driving the T54E1 on a standard battle on Kharkov. Really liking the T54E1 at the moment, if not just because I'm playing a hell of a lot of it, because it's one of my most recent purchases. I would really like to have a T57 Heavy at some point, so playing this one a lot and quite enjoying it, to be honest. It has a nice amount of speed maneuverability. It's not the fastest or the nippiest medium tank. It does have a really, really good body traverse speed. It's able to turn very, very quickly. If only this thing could crab across the battlefield, it would be unstoppable. Its cannon's pretty good. Penetration on it isn't fantastic, as you see at 210. Average damage is almost 400 though, so this thing has plenty of damage in the clip. Just under 1600 points of alpha it's able to kick out, so it can be used very, very effectively. But with all, like with all auto loaders, a little bit of a stray shot there, hitting the side of the IS-3, so I won't complain about the historically accurate model. Goes right for the front of that pike there, which is a good place to shoot it, right on the crest of that pike if you can land it. So with all auto loaders, you really need a lot of forward planning to play this tank well. You need to already have, at least in the back of your mind, what position you're going to be in whilst reloading that gun. There's no point charging into the enemy, loosing your 4 shells from the clip, and then thinking to yourself, oh my god, what have I done? What do I do now? I'm being shot and I have no shells left. Really need to at least have an idea of where and what position you're going to be in whilst loading that gun to keep yourself safe. So Killerama, heading back to this road, strangely absent of enemy tanks. It wasn't IS-3, there is now again an IS-3. As his first shot, that one just misses. Accuracy of this gun over range apparently not great. He needs to land this last shot or he's going to be in trouble. He didn't land his last shot, he's going to be in trouble. Luckily for him, the IS-3 bounced his first shot, so Killerama's going to be able to back off. He's probably going to take another damaging hit from this IS-3. Nope, looks like the IS-3 just plants that one into the side there of the wall. No, he actually got taken out by Killerama's platoon mate in the AMX-30, being a pal there, taking out the IS-3 before he's able to get any more damage onto Killerama. Saying that he didn't do very much damage to that IS-3 is a little bit unfair, considering he did 1251 points of damage to its 1500 hit points. So it did a fair whack. And now with this road completely won, he's going to be able to come around behind the enemy tanks. Gets a great shot on that moving 1390 there. And then he's got to square off against this Pershing. If you saw my video on the Pershing last week, you know that that tank's not to be taken too lightly, as it can really surprise you in the hands of a very skilled driver. Killerama was able to land a couple of decent shots there, then he's going to have to back off as there is a medium and light tank pushing through the A line and a T25-2. They do have 2 tanks of their own over there, but now a sneaky T37 has taken advantage of the outermost ring of the city being unoccupied. He's now coming in and getting some great damage onto the Allied artillery. Not great for the Allies, but Killerama's able to take him out before he gets the artillery, the M40-43. Not going very well for the Allies, losing as they are 6 kills to 11. Enemy team pushing from every single ring. There's only 4 Allied tanks left, 2 of them platooned up, so if those 2 can link up, probably going to be able to defend each other's backs pretty effectively. AMX-30 getting flanked around by this 1390 there, but Killerama's got his back, and he takes him out. Now they've got to square off against another T54E1, and Killerama only has 2 shells in the container, although the 54E1 doesn't have very many hit points. He's able to finish him off for kill number 3. Looks like the T54E1 tunneled vision for that AMX-30. He had all of the information that was required because the AMX-1390 had spotted Killerama in the T54E1, so he knew that he was there. He just decided that he was going to tunnel vision for the AMX-30 and to hell with all of the consequences. And you saw what the consequences were. He got taken out. Now it is a case of wait and reload. There is some tanks coming in from the rear in the form of that CDC, the 120 and that Pershing. So Killerama and his platoon mate have got no choice but to push forwards, or else they're going to get collapsed on from the rear and put into a pincer maneuver. Had to go and take out the M46 pattern as quickly as they could. Now with Killerama reloaded, the artillery The Great Sky Equalizer comes in and takes out the AMX-30, and that leaves Killarama all by himself against some pretty decent players as well, to be honest. Actually, the most dangerous player in the AMX CDC's only got 51 hit points, so he's going to be able to affect the battle a lot less than he probably will hope. Gets a very lucky bounce against that T25. CDC looks like he's AFK. May have either disconnected or just thought the battle was over and decided to face hug the wall. Show the wall some love there, because the battle was pretty much all but won. But Killarama had other plans, had other designs on the outcome of this game. Now he's got to find the WZ-120 and this Pershing. You can know that the WZ-120 is going to be hungry for this one, because he's 1 kill away from a Top Gun medal. He's going to be the one to want to get this kill. So you can kind of hope that that means he's not going to, number one, go for the base capture, and number two, he's not going to be thinking too hard about this one. He's hopefully just going to charge in. Although, I'm not sure. Well, looking at his stats, he may just charge in. He's got plenty of hit points, but he must know that Killarama has also got plenty of hit points. So that isn't a straight-up 1v1 slugfest that the WZ-120 is going to be able to win. In fact, none of these tanks are going to be able to just win a straight-up slugfest, considering that the T54E1 has around 1,600 points of alpha in his clip. Having a hunt around now for the artillery. Looks like the FV207's got a brain on him, though. And there we go, the two mediums attack at the same time. Killarama gets ammo rack, but he's still able to take out the WZ-120 very, very handily. Got 657 hit points left. Got to keep moving. He doesn't know where that artillery is. Once he gets a moment to breathe, he gets his driver back into action and repairs his ammo rack. Goes for a reload because he knows that he's going to be travelling for a while. Didn't really want to risk the amount of hit points that the Pershing has. 950. If he gets 2 high rolls, could have possibly taken out the Pershing with 2 shots. But the best idea in this situation, rather than leave it a chance, because if he'd fired 2 shots at the Pershing, all the Pershing will need to do is just charge him down and get him dead, as Killarama would have to spend over 30 seconds reloading after losing those 2 shots. So Killarama decided to fall back into a safer position, continue moving, reload that cannon, and now with this one clip, he's got enough damage to take out both tanks, as long as he high rolls on the artillery, that is. Now he's going to have to come around and try and get at them. Finds the artillery, but he is completely safe in that little ditch. And it is a strange situation when a full health artillery and a half health Pershing are cowering in fear from a T54E1 with 650 hit points. Really, it should be Killarama that's dropping back to defend his base and let those 2 guys come to him, and that is exactly what he's doing here. Very well played on the part of Killarama. Deciding that 1v2 and one of those being artillery, not the best situation that he wants to be in, so he's going to fall back. Obviously not just straight up falling back, he is covering himself and moving in odd patterns, just to try and stop himself being headed off, or being picked off by the artillery. Not running down a tree. Hopefully, so that's because the artillery might be watching. Or maybe he just loves trees. Pershing is a bit faster than the T54E1. He's got to play this one careful. Just going to speed this one up a little bit till we get back into the action. Now, Killarama, I think, thinks to himself that these 2 guys are going to continue to hide in that ditch, so he's attempting to come around and find a firing position on that ditch from an angle that the enemy tanks would not expect. But it looks like they're not here. They have indeed moved out, and there we go. They've started the base capture. They actually moved out to go and start capturing the allied base. Just put this back to ×1 speed so we can see how many of them are in there. Looks like both of them in the cap circle. There is 20 seconds on the clock. But as you can see, the T54E1, not the fastest tank in a straight line. And you just know for a fact that one of them is going to be hiding behind the building on that left-hand side. Or maybe both of them are going to be huddled there for warmth. So this could be a close one. There we go. Finds the Pershing. He's not huddling for warmth. Gets the reset on him. Still 20 seconds on the clock. Not going for the reset here. Just deciding to go for the... just burn them down as quickly as possible. Didn't quite get a high enough roll on the FV207, and that leaves the FV207 in a really, really bad spot, because he knows that the T54E1's got a 30-second reload now, but he knows that he's slow, and he's never going to be able to catch the T54E1 once he starts running for it. And as you can see, Killerama doing the smartest thing here of keeping that big rubble pile between himself and the 207. Now the 207 knows that his goose is cooked now. He's thinking about charging in for Killerama, but stubbornly going for the base capture. Heads for the left-hand side of the rubble, then as he fades away, decides to head for the right-hand side of the rubble instead. Hopefully that's where the FV is aiming. It is where the FV is aiming. That's the shot. That is the kill and the victory. So awesome replay sent in there by Killerama, driving the T54E1 medium tank, picking himself up 5,500 points of damage, 9 kills, and really helping his team walk away with a victory there, picking himself up a well-deserved Kolobanov's medal and a Radley Walters. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. Link for that's in the description. Thanks very much for watching. My name has been Maxwell. This has been a World of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.